to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast.
Okay, welcome back. Thanks for dropping into the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. I'm Tron, and I'm here with the 10-inch How was your week this week in the Warzone, Cowboy?
Another week, another fucking great week. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm still rocking the car, which I'm loving. Just, honestly, I'm getting pretty good. I don't mean to get ahead of myself, but I'm fucking rocking and rolling. Some highs, still trying to find my secondary weapon, but having good times. We'll get into all that. How are you?
Well, to touch on that, I've been seeing it more and more. Even this morning before recording this, we hopped on the sticks. There's times I'll just hear that piercing shot through the air, and then I look on my little ticker on the left, and I see like 10-inch fucking down someone, and I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, you've really seemed to find your voice per se, and it seems to have reinvigorated you. I've been also back on my search because kind of inspired by you, trying to do the same thing. This week for me, though, I don't know if it's just we're getting to the end of the season, I'm on at bad times, but it's seeming like extra sweat dripping matches. Before we were on a run doing this podcast weeks back, maybe a month back, where like every week we had at least 1-2 wins, most of which, were in the rebirth, but there were still victories. I haven't had a fucking victory in some time. I'm on a dry spell.
Yeah, it has been tough lately. You've been playing not very well. The large map victories are so few and far between these days. I don't remember the last time I got a victory on Verdansk. I just don't.
It might have been that duos one we got like fucking 2 months ago.
It might have been. Yeah, it's been so long. And yeah, I guess you're right. The victories on the smaller map are tricky too. I mean, they just switched up the game mode or the gameplay mode on the small map, which they're always tinkering with it, and I don't know, I kind of respect that, but at the same time, I do love the duos, Rebirth, Resurgence, or anything that's not a Trios Rebirth. The Trios Rebirth, I do not like it very much.
You mean quads?
No, I'm talking about the Trios on Rebirth Island with no Resurgence.
Oh, with no Resurgence. Yeah, you're talking about Mini Royale.
Mini Royale, there you go. I do not like that. It's just like, it takes away, what is good about the small map is that when you die, you come back quick. It's constant gameplay. You're always shooting. You're honing in your skills. You're having a great time. It's like a hot shot of adrenaline, right? Well, with the mini map and what is it called? Mini Royale?
Yeah.
What happens is you die and then you're just sitting there. It's just like Verdansk in a way, and it fucking blows. I'm not a fan of it. I think it should be Resurgence, Rebirth, small map, here on out. I'm running for mayor.
Yeah, they seem like they realize like the Trios Resurgence is chef's kiss, like really, really well-balanced, perfect game mode.
Yes.
And they kept that going, I think, 2 weeks running, where it was like, okay, they've kind of figured it out. And then now they swap it in for quads.
Quads is a little much. And, if you're playing with your boys, if you're playing with your crew, sometimes 4 people aren't on. So you're doing the fill, which is fun. Playing with random people is great, but it's not the same as trios. I felt like it was just another level of smoothness with trios.
Yeah, I'm feeling like if they're going to bounce between team configurations for the rebirth mode, like trios to duos, I think would be a better pivot as opposed to trios up to quads. But I think they're getting us ready, which I guess we can just dive into it now and then circle back around to what else we were going to talk about. But they just this week had a massive drop. All the info for season 2 pretty much out there now in the open.
This is big news.
Huge news. If you'll remember when we first recorded our podcast, we were rapidly approaching the start of season 1. Now coming around kind of full circle here into a new season. The biggest things we were hoping for was like, okay, the new map's coming. They're redoing Verdansk. Not the case, it appears. They are, in lieu of a big change, giving us some new points of interest for season 2, which means I guess that cargo ship that you can now see off the coast that's ominously approaching the shores, I guess that's going to be like able to board it but I'm wondering if that means they're going to add that swimming mechanic into Warzone, because in Black Ops Cold War, your fucking dude can swim in the ocean.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a game mode in the regular standalone game where the map is literally like 2 battleships out in the open, and you can fucking swim between the 2 ships and shit.
Can you shoot in the water?
I think so.
It's just harder. I'm sure it's really hard.
I don't think you can use like an AR. I think they might limit it to like sidearms or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I played it a little bit during the open beta. So there's that. There's supposed to be a few other quote unquote points of interest. And then they're teasing with, as part of this trailer, they said, something is rumbling under Verdansk. So all these people are theorizing that on March 11th, which I guess is like the 1-year anniversary of Warzone, that they think they're going to nuke Verdansk, which we've been talking about for fucking months.
Yeah. I think it's incredibly disappointing that Season 2 isn't including a new map. Like, that's not an official thing. They're just bringing the ship closer and closer, and that thunderstorm above it is getting brighter and brighter, closer to Verdansk. And I bet you what's going to happen is the ship's going to crash into the port. Zombies are going to come off the ship. It's obviously bringing some kind of storm, some kind of thunder, something ominous and scary. And as you said, and I so simply and easily guessed last time, there are fucking zombies coming on the ship. They're going to run over Verdansk, and it's going to be the same map plus zombies with a new ship. I bet you that's what happens. They're not going to blow our minds. I hate to say it, but until there's a new map, it's going to be the same old shit.
Well, as part of the Season 2 reveal this week, they mentioned that there's a zombie outbreak event coming to Warzone. Or I don't know, though. That's let me back up. They mentioned there's a zombie outbreak event, but, stupid me don't have the best reading comprehension. I don't know yet if that means it's coming to Warzone or if it's just going to be a Black Ops thing. You sound pretty definitively certain that we're getting some fucking zombie outbreak in the Warzone.
Why would they tease and build up that ship coming to Verdansk if all that ship is doing is crashing into the port and there's like a new
ship
to go on? That would be such a letdown. It would be so ridiculous. Why? And then it's like, why is there a giant black cloud over it? Obviously, they're teasing something here. They're not dumb. This isn't. God, if they do something just like opening up Stadium again, putting a hole in Stadium, and that's it, I'm gonna be thoroughly disappointed. I know nothing about engineering or game developing, but it doesn't seem that difficult to create an entirely new game on an entirely new map for millions of people that play instantly and simultaneously. It's like, come on, let us do this.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like they should just be able to whip that up in a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, come on, get a couple guys together, a couple beers, some laughs, some good times, throw a new game together.
That said, that goes live February 25th, which is the Thursday, 3 days after the date of this release.
A couple days from now. Wow.
So get your sweatpants ready. That said, though, on top of these additions, there's some other changes coming. They're introducing a new rebirth mode, which is going to be called, pretty excitedly, I think it's called Rebirth Extreme mode or some shit. And it's 90 players on the rebirth map.
Is it going to... They're introducing it new. Does that mean it's going to replace the old?
I think it'll be I don't know. I don't know that one, buddy. But 90 players. I think right now the player count on Rebirth is capped at 40. So they're more than doubling that.
That is pure insanity. It is so hot sometimes. Most of the time, dropping into the small island, if you double the amount of people, over double the amount of people, it's going to be... I mean, it better be Resurgence. Yeah. Because if it's not, it's going to be so stupid.
I actually, now that I'm saying it, you're triggering some memories here. I'm having the LSD flashbacks kicking in a little bit. It is going to have the rebirth mechanic. So as long as one of your Resurgence mechanic. So as long as one of your teammates alive, I think you should, but that ain't going to be no fucking cakewalk with 90 people. Like, imagine when the loadouts drop.
Oh my God, the fucking place is going to be crawling with people.
Yeah, trying to get a loadout that isn't purchased in the rebirth mode to begin with now is insane because there's usually like 5 clustered by each other.
Oh yeah.
Imagine it when there's 40 or 50 loadouts or some shit dropping on this fucking map. Insane.
What's going to be great is that You're going to get your kills up, baby. You know, think about the death number that's going to happen on that small island.
I'm thinking about the death number, and it's more so the amount of deaths my character's going to take.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You probably, I mean, realistically, like, fuck sniping, fuck having a long-range weapon. You're just going to want that MAC-10 or a FAR, baby, just close range, because you're going to literally hit the ground just spraying.
Yeah, well, one of the friends we play with, Sparks, he this week, loving the FFAR, he was like, I want to know if I can get a loadout where I have 2 FFARs, like a more long-range one and a more short-range one, and he discovered he's able to do that.
Wow, that's some edgy shit.
So maybe we're going to be seeing that creeping into the Rebirth meta here, baby.
He just loves it that much. That's actually pretty funny and pretty, maybe genius. Maybe genius.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect that kind of mad scientist approach to loadout building. But another update here that kind of slipped under the radar that they introduced that's coming Season 2 is a new Warzone game mode for the Verdansk map. It's called Exfiltration, and their description is as follows. During an exfiltration battle royale, a portable radio crackles into life, coming online somewhere in Verdansk. The operator who secures this radio and holds on to it for a sufficient period of time automatically wins the game for them or their squad in non-solo modes. To ensure their exfiltration isn't by the book, anyone holding the radio is marked on the TAC map as if they were under a most wanted contract, with all operators also receiving intel on how much longer the current radio holder has until they win. Other than this new win condition, the same Battle Royale rules apply. Expect a circle collapse and a winner to be determined by the last operator or squad standing should nobody receive an early exfil with the radio.
So it basically sounds like a game of tag, and whoever is it longest wins.
It sounds like it's normal, yeah, Battle Royale, but there's like a game-winning fucking most wanted
King contract, yeah.
Yeah, that you can just hold on to. So we're going to see a lot of people camping up in, you know, the radio tower up there. I'm curious how that's going to play out. I'm not really somebody who dives big into these new Warzone game modes like the Armored Royale one. Still haven't played that once. I've heard good things.
I liked that a lot, actually. I had so much fun. Played with a buddy of mine, Swoopy Doodles. We played that back in the day. It was really, really fun. Good way to level guns, too, actually.
Well, that makes sense because you and him fucking love vehicles. In that game, you have to have a vehicle to survive.
We love vehicles, yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. And you're taking care of your vehicle. You're purchasing things to make it stronger. It's like a little baby.
Okay, well, there we go. We found the game mode for these guys, but that's Exfiltration. What do you think about that? You going to give it a try, you think?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a try. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I'm addicted to the wins in like normal rounds. Like I'm trying to fucking be the last man standing. I'm not trying to run away and hide.
Wow.
You know, to win a game, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like this feels like this is fun on the playground. Like I'm in the prison yard over here, man. I'm playing the game.
If we were to take that soundbite and juxtapose it to your play style that you described in our opening episode, I don't know if we could get more fucking night and day here.
I mean, I'm telling you, the car has changed my life. I have no fear now.
I mean, in terms of, we talk about storytelling, look at this story arc we got here. We had like a little fucking sissy boy here started out.
Okay, well, easy.
Somehow now is like morphed into, he thinks he's like a Rambo / what was the Bradley Cooper sniper movie over here?
Okay. I mean, let's just, first of all, I never was a sissy. I always had a very respectable level of play.
Yeah.
So don't it's not that big of a journey. I've always been pretty powerful. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, well, I think it's quite an arc here. We'll keep tracking it here as we go on.
I mean, let's just be clear here. I'm expecting to be humbled greatly sometime very soon, so I'm trying to enjoy the high right now.
The high. All right, well, the big news that everyone's probably most eager about for Season 2, what's coming, is what are the new weapons? Because we know the arsenal is going to expand anytime they got a new season, and this one is no different. I got the details here for you. Tron does, and we got a fan favorite from previous COD games coming back here They're bringing in a new assault rifle. They're calling it the FARA 83, but I've confirmed that it is essentially the Galil of older games, which was it was a little longer range AR, which I think we've talked about the game kind of needing. If I remember, it was a little slower rate of fire, almost like faster than the Scar, not quite as slow, but it packed a wallop. It was a fan favorite, like we said. Any experience or interest with that guy, buddy?
No, no experience, no idea. I've never heard of it. Your word is so much better than mine on this. I've never heard of the Galil.
Okay, very enthusiastic and informative stuff there. Next up, they're going to have a new SMG. All I'm seeing is it's called the LC10 or LC10 SMG. Haven't heard any details on that. I feel like we have a saturation of SMGs in this game.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Is the FAR technically an SMG? No, that's an AR, right?
The FFAR is an AR.
Yeah.
As it has the letters in the fucking name.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Jesus.
But yeah, the SMGs, they introduced one back, I think it was the final season 6 of Modern Warfare, and like I've never seen it ever in the game. I think they throw an SMG like every fucking new season. The only ones that have stuck so far were the MAC-10, and then I think the Fennec was pretty popular when they first released that. So I don't know what's going on. The SMGs are really hard to kind of designate between one or the other. They're becoming too fucking homogenous. Am I right?
Yeah, like what is the difference? I mean, the MAC-10 obviously sits on its own pedestal, but what else is there that, I don't know. Like, I mean, people love the MP5, obviously MP7. I guess there's slight differences there, but I don't know. Yeah.
They need to go back to the triangle, man, and put them on the triangle.
Tron's triangle.
Yeah, Tron's fucking weapon tuning triangle. Go ahead and license that from me for a small fee. We can talk about it.
But based off of your triangle, I mean, there's really only 3 variations necessarily. I mean, yeah, you could get into like the intricacies of it, but like really it's like you'd have an SMG that is horrible at short range, but obviously powerful and accurate. Then you know what I'm saying? Like you'd only have...
You know what? You're right. You're right. I think it should actually be more like a weapon tuning pentagon. You know, maybe we add 2 more points there.
What would the 2 points be?
Well, we had mobility. I think we had range and we had damage.
Yes.
We could throw recoil on that.
Accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, baby. But anyways, it's all about mapping it out, making them unique, strengths, weaknesses, drawbacks. But that said, this might interest you since, you know, Mr. Car 98 over here, long range assassin. There's a 3rd new gun coming, season 2 launch. That is a sniper rifle, is the ZRG 20mm sniper rifle. No insights on that. I feel like the sniper rifles are always pretty cool though when they first drop because you get a taste for, can this thing do some hog damage? I remember when the SPR first came, it was broken, but it was like, oh, there's a new sniper, changed the game. I'm pretty curious about this one.
Yeah, snipers are fun. You never know where they're going to take you, what kind of rush you're going to get playing with them. I like snipers a lot.
What would it take for this sniper to draw you away from the Car 98?
Well, what I like about the car is that it's so quick. Like you can shoot, it's mobile.
When you say quick, what do you mean? Time between shots or time from...
Sorry, yeah. So like, time between shots. I mean, it's not an automatic weapon, but like the quickness that it reloads with, your mobility, I really, really like. It has really good range, and it's really powerful. When you hit somebody in the head, they're down, no questions asked. And typically, I mean, if you're hitting somebody, you're cracking them. So it's kind of just it's got the range, it's got the accuracy, it's got the damage, it's got the mobility. It kind of has all the kind of things that I like about it. The only thing I wish the car had, it holds 5. I mean, you have to basically put a new bullet in you have to kind of do a quick reload in between shots, but it only holds 5 before you have to do like a big full reload. And you can't upgrade the ammo capacity no matter how high you level a car. So it would be nice if it had maybe like 8 or 10 in the, capability before you have to do a big full reload because your boy's good. He's not, it's not like one shot, one down every single time. He's running through some bullets. So like, it'd be nice if I could hold more than 5 in the chamber.
So what I'm hearing is maybe if this ZRG has, decent time between firing and perhaps a larger magazine capacity, you might be drawn to it. Interesting. We're going to have to keep tabs on that. I also heard you say when you're firing and hitting with the Car 98, you're typically cracking. My only retort to that is it must be fucking nice because your boy's hitting a lot of shots with it these days where I'm just seeing the white plates, not the blue crack, and certainly not the down.
Yeah, you got to aim for the head, and if you miss low, you hit them right in the chest, it cracks them. You know, you're probably aiming for their feet, their kneecaps and shit. That's not good.
I'm just aiming to hit something other than air. And then finally, another new weapon they've said will be releasing, which a little not very exciting. It's called the R1 Shadow Hunter, and it's a new crossbow. But again, how do you it's like reinventing the fucking wheel. How do you reinvent a crossbow? It's a crossbow.
Well, okay. Well, the one thing they could do to make the crossbow fucking fully legitimate is an incredibly fast reload. That's the one drawback. Not the one drawback, but a huge drawback of the crossbow is that it takes fucking literally half of your game is spent putting in one new arrow. It's such a slow reload. If they did it to where it held maybe one or two, I don't know how it could hold two, but if it was like a very quick reload, like a reload quickness similar to the car, that would make the crossbow legit, and it was still a one-shot, one-kill situation no matter where you hit them. That would make the crossbow fun, and it would make more people play with it, I think.
That's an interesting note, although I want to say this. The solution to that is the players that rock the crossbow in Verdansk, which, again, I salute you. You guys are the fucking real warriors.
I've never been killed by a crossbow in Verdansk, for the record. I've never seen it.
I've been killed by a crossbow when I was in a helicopter as a passenger flying over something. I saw the replay. It was a 100% legit shot. I was like, salute to that motherfucker. So yeah, haven't encountered it much, but as I was going to say, the players that rock that, what they do is they throw on the sleight of hand perk, which was available on Modern Warfare guns, which makes that reload time much faster. So I'd anticipate, like you said, I bet there'll be some sort of attachment or something that'll be like a quick reload arrow. I think as we're kind of talking about it, another way they could spice it up is I know on the Modern Warfare crossbow, they have like the gas arrows that like it hits them and then it blows a little gas plume. Maybe we'll get like an incendiary or like a fucking fire arrow or some shit.
You know what would be interesting? Actually, now that we're thinking about it, you know, as everyone knows that listens to this, my short range gameplay is very bad. I lose far more than I actually win in one-on-one battles in very close proximities. That's why I had been attracted to the shotgun in the past, the MAC-10, all these weapons that are supposed to give you the edge. Unfortunately, none of them have worked. You know, I'm losing so many of my close battles. If I were to rock a crossbow, it's one shot, kill, you know. So even if some motherfucker and I go head to head, if I can hit him with the crossbow, it's over, you know? Is that a bad idea?
In theory, no. But in reality, I think part of the reason we've talked about this, you don't do so hot in these short range situations is you shit yourself most often. Anytime there's somebody coming in the door, I'm sure your sensitivity's probably not that high.
Yes, but okay, so my argument to that is that for that same reason is why I think I enjoy the car is because I know I have one shot, so I have to think about it, and I focus on the one shot.
Okay.
You know, if I can spray, I'm just like, oh, I'm spraying, and then it's over. But with the one shot, I can focus a little bit more. I know exactly what I need to do. Like, and if I don't know, I might try this. Am I going to go car crossbow? Is that an insane loadout?
It's fucking insane, but I mean, let's do it. You might also want to wait till this new one comes out, because if people are like, yeah, the old crossbow is far superior, or vice versa, this new one blows the old one away, might not be worth leveling, one versus the other. But that's an interesting thought, thinking that it might be conducive to making you a less reactionary, less panicky player, and maybe waiting for your shots. I don't know. Sounds like a scientific study. And if this podcast is about anything, it's about science and,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that's really it. There are going to be a few more melee weapons introduced. Don't really fucking matter. Not really doing the research on that. But check them out if you want. I think one's like a mini shovel. The other's like a machete.
A mini shovel?
Yeah, it's called like a multi-tool, but I looked at it and it looks like it's just like a miniature shovel. Don't fucking hate on me if this is some known thing out in the universe of real life. I just go by the seat of my pants here. But that's going to be coming in. New Arsenal expansion. I'm sure, as they always do when they introduce new weapons, they do some rebalancing. They do some known nerfs and buffs that they published, and they also do some stealth nerfs and buffs. So keep an eye on the wire. Keep subscribed to this podcast. We'll do our best to keep you informed. That's really the news, though, coming here. Season 2. Again, not sure when the nuke's going to happen. People are saying March 11 they're going to nuke the map because that's when the zombie outbreak event is scheduled to end. I'm here, though, on the show, laying the gauntlet.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that part of the lore right now? Is that they're going to introduce season 2. There's going to be a zombie outbreak event. So Verdansk is overrun with zombies, and then they nuke it to get rid of the zombies.
Now that I'm going to be honest with you, I hadn't made the full connections, but as we're kind of running down the narrative, the argument now makes a little more sense because before you interrupted me, I was ready to go on the mic and make a prediction that I think we're not going to be seeing a nuked map March 11th. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just intuitively feel like that's only 2 weeks into season 2. Like, why wouldn't they have just bumped that up and made it part of season 2? I don't fucking know. Again, not a mathematician, not a computer scientist. But I guess in terms of a narrative, that would make kind of sense. And I also is worth noting, we mentioned, we've been getting these in-game like previews where like the static takes over your screen.
Yeah.
That's been evolving. They've been updating that. And I've heard the newest one, I think the dude's saying in Russian, and they translated it. He says like, we have bio weapons aboard and they've become unstable. So fucking who knows?
Be a little more vague, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I'm not getting my breath held, though, for the March 11th new map nuking or whatever. I hope I'm wrong in this instance, but we'll see how that goes. Season 2, though, coming live Thursday. I think it's going to be 12 gigs or something like that. So get those hard drives spiffed off.
Spiffed off? I've never heard that one before. Spiffed off.
Spiffed them off, baby. But that said, last week when we left off, you were on a quest for a short to mid-range gun. You solicited some advice.
I did.
From our listeners, and like always, our listeners delivered. We had some great recommendations sent to us. As we said previous week, Glock and Load had advised on the Bullfrog. Did you give that one a try yet?
I did give it a try. It's tough without leveling it. That's kind of the hard part, is that you have to invest so much time and energy and effort into leveling these weapons. It's hard to tell right off the bat when it's going to be a keeper. Sometimes you just have a feel for it. And not to keep going back to the car, but that was even like a stock model car. Like, I think it's I'm not even sure if this is a car. The old growth sniper that you find commonly as ground loot on Verdansk. It's a rare weapon. It's got the red and black kind of skin to it. Even that weapon, I love playing with that. And that was when I kind of knew, ooh, this is interesting, the car. The thing about the Bullfrog was it didn't feel good right off the bat, so I didn't go with the Bullfrog. I like the name Bullfrog. I think that's a cool name for a short-range weapon. But unfortunately, it didn't really deliver the way I wanted it to. But if I had a level 50 Bullfrog, maybe that would be a different ballgame.
Well, you got good instincts there. I guess you are one with the car because I'm confirming it. The old growth is a blueprint for the Car 98.
Yeah, I like that weapon.
So good stuff there. No Bullfrog for you. Glock and Load had graciously offered if you wanted to hop into a game, he'd like drop you as leveled one. I know we have a buddy too who's leveling one up, so maybe you get a taste of that Bullfrog,
I'll give it a taste.
Getting down like Creedence Clearwater. I can hear the Bullfrogs calling me. That said, another listener reached out. Big shotgun enthusiast. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but his username, I believe, is GoCo.
Yeah.
He's a big enthusiast of that street sweeper shotgun. He said to throw on the Hammer Forged 13.3 barrel to increase the fire rate. And he also recommended the 725 shotgun, which I looked up. It's like an old school double barrel shotgun.
That's ground loot too. I've grabbed the 725 shotgun before,
but not leveled up.
No, not leveled up. No.
Because I'm curious, like to throw a coat of paint on a gun like that. I'm curious. I bet it just packs an absolute fucking wallop. No experience on my end. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Street Sweeper, I have not unlocked it yet, and I don't think I will be able to because, as we've said, we don't own the full standalone game, and these free multiplayer weekends, they used to be like way more frequent. I think we've only had that one at the launch of Season 1, so maybe Season 2 we get another multiplayer weekend, might go into a few games, get my shotgun unlocked because I've been looking for it. Haven't had that yet.
Yeah, I haven't been messing with any shotguns lately.
So what's the verdict here? Did you find that short to mid-range gun this week, or are you still on the quest?
Honestly, I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it because it works, but I've been rocking the FAR. I've been rocking the FAR and then sometimes the MAC-10. I've been tweaking the MAC-10 a little bit, but I actually like the FAR. I've been rocking the FAR car loadout, and it's been good to me, man. Like, I really like it. I don't know. It's kind of finding a groove for me right now.
Well, sounds like you might be needing to wipe off your forehead. A little sweaty out there, because that, I believe, is like the sweat loadout combination at the moment. Meta, top tier, in the zone.
Is it really? I mean, gosh, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm into right now.
I am just the opposite, though, my friend. This week, I think I have officially divorced myself. I fucking put the keys in the mailbox. I changed my last name. I've moved on from the FFAR. I think it's just not for me. I leveled it up all the way. I gave it a few runs, but it doesn't. I get the runs when I do it, I think. So moved on from me, but interestingly enough, we had a third listener reach out, K Generic, and he says, I quote, "Give the fucking Ram 7 a try. It destroys close and medium range." And that got the old wheels and Tronny boys head turning, because the Ram 7, I don't know if you were in the Warzone that big back then, but it used to be ground loot during the Modern Warfare, one of those seasons.
I remember it, yeah.
And I'd always kind of had success at it early games. So it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. And I knew I'd kind of leveled it up at a decent amount because of playing it as ground loot for so long. And then, full disclosure, then comes along, perfect timing, J-God releases a video. He's like, dude, I think the fucking Ram 7 can compete with anything right now in Warzone. Essentially was the gist of it. So I was like, you know what? This weekend, I'm like, I'm going for the fucking Ram. I threw on the Ram 7, had it decently leveled up, like I said, and I am loving it. I think I've officially now, the AMAX, I got bucked off that Bronco too often. Like I said last week, I was like, when you hit those shots, it fucking destroys. But it's got a 45 round mag, and you've seen the way I recoil compensate.
Not good.
And I can't really get a hang on that bull. By the time I do, I got to reload, and it's just not working. So I moved on from that. I went back to the M13, had more success than I was having. But again, it just wasn't deadly enough. The Ram seems like, to me, it seems like it's kind of like the FFAR, but a little bit easier to control. And I'm finding I have better range, because the iron sights with the FFAR, I feel like they're dog shit. And I just can't see anything more than, 25 meters.
Okay.
But that Ram, I'm throwing it on no optic. I got it all kitted up, tack laser and shit. Loving it. So thank you, K Generic.
Good for you. Good for you. Maybe I'll give the Ram a try. I mean, it sounds pretty nice.
Just ram it.
That's what's up.
Is what I've been doing. I've been rocking that. Now I'm kind of in your boat. I'm trying to figure out what to pair it with.
What are your thoughts on the car? You not a car guy?
I like the car, but I'm finding that I'm only really going to have success for it, I think, in bigger team configurations. When I have a quad team and I could maybe be the guy providing sniper support. But so far when I'm playing quads, most people have it. And it's like, I don't want to put us all with 3 snipers.
Yeah. The thing is that it's actually a great mid-range weapon too. Like, once you dial it in, it's no longer just a sniper. You can really do a lot of damage with people in that like mid to long range, like the 70 to 100 meter mark. You can really, really do damage. And once you start dialing it in, it's not as hard to look down that scope and quickly get on somebody. And, if you're fucking hitting them in the head, it's, deadly as fuck.
Well, dialing it in, I'm not. I also this week kind of fucking went back to the MP5 Modern Warfare. I was like, you know what? That was my sidearm. I had a lot of success hip firing. I got my ass kicked with it. I went right back to the MAC-10. So the MAC-10 seems to me SMG tour de force. There's no argument to be made on that. So it's either, I think, car or MAC-10 I'm going with as the old backup for the Ram. But the Ram, really fucking digging. Thank you for the shout outs. If you guys got any more recommendations, reach out. We love to hear from you. That said, in terms of moving forward, players were disappointed to hear there's no mention that they're going to be adding the option for console players to adjust their field of view. What are your thoughts on this topic?
I mean, I would like to try it. I'm not sure. I obviously don't know what it would be like and how it would help me, but it is something I think that adds to this advantage that PC players have. The field of view thing changes everything because I'm constantly. Your field of view dictates so much of your gameplay and it really makes a big difference. I'm having a hard time putting this into words, but I'm bummed that I'm not going to have that opportunity because I think it's something that would really help my gameplay. I feel like I'm in tunnel vision sometimes, and I'm like, I want to fucking look over there. I can't look over there. It's slow for me to look over there. And that's the other thing is that you can change your sensitivities on the console to see and move around quickly, but it's just not as smooth and easy as if you're playing on the PC. Like, you watch streamers, and they can do 360s like nobody's business. You know what I mean? And pairing that with their extra advantage with the field of view, it's a game changer. And we don't have either of those capabilities, more or less, especially with the field of view. And yeah, it's a bummer, man. How do you feel about it?
Well, our comments last week on, the benefits or the quote unquote advantages of PC players in regards to keyboard and mouse versus controller, eventually it sparked a discussion among our own friends group. And the main point they made is they feel the biggest advantage that PC players have is this field of view option, because you can go look up like how these different field of views reveal that much more information. And it's
incredible.
I think it's especially valuable for these close combat pushing buildings, because you run into a building and with that constrained field of view, it's like you could run right past someone. You can't peek into the room to the left and to the right, if you're looking straight down a hall, whereas they can, it's like they're fucking playing with like one of these 3D cameras that's got lenses fucking 180 degrees around, damn near.
Yeah, and I clearly have memories of playing with friends that are playing on PCs, and they're like, oh, to your left. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, I had no idea somebody was there.
Yeah, you're like, wait, you can see beyond the limits of what I can see right now? What the fuck?
Yeah, so what is their argument that, like, yes, we get this, but you have aim assist?
No, I think their argument was that, the keyboard and mouse things is an advantage, but not as significant as the FOV. And as it stands, there is the option on the standalone Black Ops Cold War game, if you play on console, to adjust your FOV, but that functionality has not yet been brought to Warzone. No word on if it will down the line, but I know everyone's fucking hoping so.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'd love to try with that, because even just give us the option, baby. Like, it'd be nice. Maybe it's too much on a console. Maybe it's too disorienting. Who knows? But I want to at least try it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Exactly. Give me the fucking options here, because otherwise I'm just going to use it as an excuse. You right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's how we play it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I died. I couldn't see that guy.
I couldn't see him, and he was cheating.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that's fucking crazy about this FOV is when they got it cranked like way high and they're running, it gives you the illusion that you're moving faster, which I think is just a psychological advantage. Like, when I'm watching those people running with the full field of view, it's fucking insane. It's like, I'm like, oh, they're cheating, dude. They got a speed perk on or some shit.
No, they're just moving faster because it looks faster. It's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, again, engineering, math, physics, not my strong suit.
Speaking of cheating, I was playing, I had a short-range car kill recently. It was within the last week or two. Killed the guy. Just kind of like aimed down the side scope, happened to be right on him, turned a little bit, boom, headshot down, ran up to him, fucking gave him a little fucking taste of the butt of my weapon. Killed him. And as soon as I killed him, you can hear the guy screaming to his teammates or whatever. He lets, you get a little audio taste of how they're feeling. And he goes, oh my God, this guy's fucking cheating. No question about it. And that's what I heard. And I was like, at first I was like, fuck you, I'm not cheating. But then I was like, wow, that's like the greatest compliment I've ever received in my entire life.
Yeah.
Is that this guy thinks I'm cheating because I actually looked that good.
Yeah. Like that to me is fucking remarkable. Like, how wrong is that guy to think of all players on the map?
I know. If this guy only knew that I hosted a podcast called the Warzone Amateur Hour where we discuss how terrible we are at playing this game, if he only knew, that would make him feel so much worse. But unfortunately, he didn't hear what I had to say.
Yeah, and in our friends group, we've talked about how we have like a group chat about Warzone. There's so many times where our friends will get killed. They're like, those guys were cheating, and then they'll go look up their KDs. And they'll share like a screenshot, and it'll be like the KD's like 5, And I bet these dudes were like, that guy was cheating. And then he fucking looked up your KD and he was like, never mind.
God damn it. Yeah.
Hey, But that's fucking progress, baby. That's what we're here. That's what we're about. That's what the amateur enthusiasm attitude is. We're going to fucking get better, show these motherfuckers what we can do. And we're going to have a lot of that coming out with season 2. That's going to be it from us this week. Thank you so much for dropping into the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. Please subscribe, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We are now officially up on iHeartRadio. If you get it from there, check us out. And visit our YouTube page, give us a subscribe. Until then, we're going to talk to you next week.
Yeah? Yeah? Oh, is it my turn? Good luck in the gulag.
Good luck in the gulag. Looks like there's no changes there, so keep it up.